Next one, constants and variables. Constant means it has a fixed value. The number 2 is 2 for all mathematical process. So a quantity that remains unaltered throughout a mathematical process is called a constant. Variable, normally we say x is a variable, y is a variable because it takes different value at different problems. So variables, there are two types of variables, dependent variable and independent variable. Dependent variable means it depends on some variable. See that a area of the square formula is 4a square. According to the side, the area must be changed. That means the shape of the square, the size of the square is changed, means the area is also changed. Here the area is not fixed depending upon the side of the square. So we say the capital letter A is dependent variable. And the next one is independent variable. Independent variable is R. Here also the independent variable is the side. Side value is independent variable. That area value is the dependent variable. Here the independent variable is radius of the circle. Area of the circle formula is pi r square. The area is changed according to the size of the radius, length of the radius. So radius is the independent variable, area is the dependent variable. Next one is interval. Interval means we have must be the starting point as well as the ending point. A subset I of R is the real number line, is said to be an interval if I contains at least two elements. At least two elements from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, from Monday to Saturday. At least two elements we must need for form an interval. So A comma B belong to I. That means some time interval is there. Some numbers are there. If we take the numbers 2 to 7, that means here 3, 4, 5, 6 are the numbers in between the number 2 and 3. So C is the in between number. So A is less than C and as well as less than B. Then C also belong to the interval. Types of interval. There are two types of interval, finite interval and infinite interval. Finite interval means it can count it, infinite means we can't count it, as well as a, that means that end point. Finite interval means end point. A comma B. There are in a finite interval there are two types, open interval as well as closed interval. Closed interval means the end points are also included that interval. Open interval means the end points are not included in that interval. Here also a comma infinity minus infinity comma b, these are the open interval. Here there is no closed interval because the infinity, the place of the infinity we don't know. So here there is no closed interval for infinite interval. Infinite means it is uncountable, so we can't close it. And the next one is half closed and half open, or otherwise you say neither open nor closed interval. So one side is open, other side is closed. This type of interval is called neither open nor closed interval, or otherwise half open half closed interval. And the next one, neighborhood. Neighborhood means nearest point of the particular point, that is called the neighborhood. A neighborhood of a point A is any open interval containing A in particular if epsilon is a positive number, usually very small. Epsilon is nothing but if we take the number 2 means what is the value of epsilon means 2.00000001, that is the value of that point, not 1 is the value of epsilon, that is very small, negligible value, that is the closest point of that point 2. And then deleted neighborhood means that you delete the particular point and then take out the remaining parts in that interval. Relation, already you know about the set as well as Cartesian product. Set means collection of well defined distinct object. Cartesian product means we can take two set and then take out the product, that is called the Cartesian product. And then relation is nothing but take out any subset of that Cartesian product is called a relation. Let A and B be any two non-empty sets. A relation R from A to B is defined as a subset of the Cartesian product. Symbolically, single lemma SYMBOLI CALLY. Symbolically, it is represented as R is subset or equal to their Cartesian product. Normally, we say the relation is how is he related to you? He is my father. Father, son is the relation. So here the relation is f of x is equal to x plus 2. This representation is, this is one of the representation of relation. So when we take the value of x is 1 means the answer is 3. So x plus 2 is the relation. So here the A is one set, B is the another set. So A is called domain and then the entire set of the B is called codomain. Range means that reaching point only the range. And then second point in the Cartesian product is only called range. A equal to 1 comma 2, B equal to A comma B. And then A cross B, already you know how to calculate. Here the relation is 1 comma A and 2 comma A. It is one of the relation, that is a subset of A cross B. For any set A, pi and A cross A are subsets of A cross A. So already you know that subset is called trivial subset. Empty set and a set itself as a subset means the two type of set is called trivial subset. The same way, pi and A cross A are the relations of the biggest set A cross A. That pi is the relation for all set, and then A cross A is also a subset. These two relation, this relation is called empty relation. This one is called universal relation. There we say in a set language, that means in a set subset you say both the set are trivial subset. That means the empty set as well as the set itself is a subset of the given set, means then we say the two sets is called trivial subset. But here you say the empty relation, that the empty set is called empty relation, that the entire set A cross A is called the universal relation. Next one is types of relation. So what are the types of relation? Reflexive relation, symmetric relation, transitive relation. If a function, that means if a relation satisfies these relation, means that is called a special name equivalence relation. So one man is there. Here the relation is man is a relation. A man is a man to itself. That is called reflexive. And then symmetric relation means we need two members. So A is related to B and then B is also related to A. That is a symmetric relation. Transitive means we need three members. So from that you can easily understand in that problem. First, reflexive. Let S be any non-empty set. R be a relation on S means then R is said to be reflexive. If A is related to A, தனக்கே ரிலேட்டடாக இருந்தால் that is called reflexive. Next one is symmetric. R is said to be symmetric. Now, if A is related to B, implies that B is also related to A. That is the symmetric relation condition. Transitive means A is related to B and B is related to C, implies that A is also related to C. That is the transitive condition. If a relation satisfies these three conditions, then we say that the relation is an equivalence relation. So number of relation, already you know how to calculate the number of subsets. The formula is 2 power m. The same way how to calculate the number of relation formula is a set containing one set containing m elements, another set containing n elements, means number of relation is 2 power mn. If both the set are having the same number of elements, means you can say 2 power n square. The number of reflexive relation on a set containing, ஒரு செட்டில் எத்தனை ரிஃப்ளெக்ஸிவ் ரிலேஷன்னா 2 power n square minus n. Here n represent number of elements in the set. Number of symmetric relation on the set containing n elements. Symmetric relation is 2 power n square plus n by 2. These are all the formula for finding the number of reflexive relation and number of symmetric relation. Next one is inverse of a relation. So A comma B is a relation, means that inverse is B comma A. That is very simple. And then next, now we see the introduction for exercise 1.2 is completely clear. Next we move to that exercise 1.2.